Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in and check out your boy P Farm thinking right out in my lab in the book. You got me all up into my rabbit hole, so let's keep going. Don't stop now. I'm having fun. I hope you are too. Let's get to it. Rightism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's a message in my stories for life. I give life lessons. You tune in and receive them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's go. Right thinking mission is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking's way of life through mental and spiritual discipline. Practice daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. You see where we're going with this? You know the deal. Let's get that together. So I asked the question, do you know you? You will when I get through, because that's what I do. But it's rhetorical, and if you don't have an answer for yourself, tune in. I got you. A person who knows not, and knows not that they know not, is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not, and knows that they know not, is simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm your spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. Yeah, that's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow him. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself and to Maat be true. And that's the book that I am right now. And from the reviews, y'all liking it, so let's have at it. Did you know that Maat wasn't born? She has no father, no mother, no birthday, because she don't exist. It's a concept. It's a principle. Just like Tahuti, they're not real people. So I'm hearing people, he was. Get back to the lesson. Right thinker, let's talk about Maat as the spiritual path of what? Righteous action. Okay? That's teaching you what? Self-mastery. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, excuse me. Maat is the whole. This is why Maat is my favorite goddess. I got a few things. Mastering Maat philosophy changed my life. This is the book I learned most of my stuff. Why? Self-mastery. Her goal is to get you to do the things that you need to do to help you what? Prepare what? For Judgment Day. Self-mastery is knowing who and how you are from stem to stern. Let's go. Right? Maat is equivalent. Watch this. This is how bad she is to the Egyptians. She's equivalent to the Chinese concept of the Tao. If you know anything about Chinese philosophy, the Tao is what they call the way. Okay? My man Bill, Alan Watts was good with that. That was his thing, taking by Chinese philosophy, Lao Tzu and all them guys. Okay? But it was the philosophy of the way of nature. This way of nature, from the Tao Tai Ching, the main text, watch this, of the Taoism represents the harmony of human and divine universal consciousness. The same philosophy of the Egyptians. They just worded different, but it's the same thing. Okay? So, also, watch this. Maat may be likened with even the Indian idea. They called it Dharma. Okay? Or the ethical and moral values of life. The same philosophy of Maat. And the teachings related to we call karma yoga. Cause and effect. Reap what you sow. That was in Egypt a long time ago. But when the Indians made it famous, the Vedas talking on that, everybody got a concept. It's the same philosophy, and I ain't got a problem with that. Again, how you get to God, what keeps you righteous and doing the right thing, whatever gets you there, by all means, that's right thinking philosophy. That's a philosophy that works for you. Simple. We all don't have to do the same thing, except what? Love God. That's it. How you do that, that's your call. Your karma According to Karma Yoga, it states your yogic spiritual discipline, which will emphasize what? Selfless service. If you're going to work for your higher self, you're going to have to do things for others, not yourself. If you want to just please yourself, then that's the road you're going to take. Watch this. There's two roads to take. One, you can serve Maat. Other, you can serve yourself. Those who serve Maat don't die. Those who serve yourself don't have a tomb. Why? Y'all get erased. Okay, that's why there's nothing left. Moving on. But that's the philosophy. And watch this. Selfless service, meaning just doing the right thing from my perspective. And that's how I view it. Just doing what's right. Just doing what's right. Don't worry about what you get in return. Don't worry about what they owe you. That's not the godly way. Selfless service, meaning giving without looking for a reward. And when you have that attitude and you perform those actions, they are being performed, you ready? By God, who is what? Working through you instead of your personal ego self. Your ego self won't listen to nobody. It's going to do what it wants to do. Your higher self will control the ego self. Why? The ego thinks it's God. The higher self knows it's God. And if you don't put the ego in check, it's going to continue to think it's God and going to run the show. You're going to have problems in your life, a.k.a. we call them fetters. Self-inflicted problems that you cause due to your ignorance of yourself, or a.k.a. your higher self. You got two men. One believe in God, other one don't believe in God. And both of them are right. How could they both be right? Paradox. You got the right to believe what you want. If he believes there's no God, and he's correct in his mind, because guess what? When Judgment Day comes, he'll find out for himself. It'll be too late to make it to change the decision. But those who do live right, perform the thing they need to do at Judgment Day, ding, 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 conceptually. Nobody ever came out to talk about it. Okay, everybody came out and said it didn't happen either. Moving on. Don't play with me with semantic. A smart, wise person, don't play them little games with them. Why? We too witty and smart to let that nonsense get anywhere other than just a pain in our tuchus. All right? We take care of that real. Don't heckle me. I'm not the one to heckle. Or no, I'm not that dude. Trust me. God is working through you to serve humanity, which is all of his people. That's why selfless service to humankind, mankind, God rewards those people who does those deeds. That's why volunteer work is prevalent. Why? Because that person who volunteered their time and energy and effort, they're getting something on the backside that y'all don't know about. Why? Only if you do it, you'll find out. Why? I just found out how humbling can be rewarding. Okay? Taking crap, let somebody slap your face, so to speak, philosophically, and don't react. And in the end, you'll win. I like that. I'm liking that idea. Why? I ain't got to express myself. I ain't got to wild out. I ain't got to, avenge myself or, nope. I got to do none of that. That's a good philosophy. That wasn't mine, but I like that. I tried it and it worked. But again, when you try something that ain't yours, or you write something to give, and respect the fact that they know what they talk about too. You ain't the only one who know everything about everything. I take advice every time I can get it, and I use it. That's the difference. Why? If you give me some advice, I'm going to take it. I'm going to use it. That's what I'm taking it for, to see if it works. What I give you, I expect you to do the same thing. Excuse me. But when you serving God, you serving humanity. All of us are one. We're family, spiritually. We all, what? One race, human race. Which is also essentially what? God. We just, half of us who are unconscious or ignorant of who we are, we're still God. They just don't know it. Again, remembering, knowing to make a difference to me. But you need to become conscious of that you and God are one. God ain't nowhere outside of you. Okay? And he is at the same time. How about that? All Buddhist monks utter the prayer, I go to the Buddha for refuge. The Buddha is a concept. Buddha consciousness. That's the way you think. That's what Maat is. And Maat to me is like Buddha to the Buddhists. It's the same thing. The Tao to the Taoist. It's the same thing. Christ to the Christian. Don't make a difference. It's all the same. But calling it something else don't change what it is. That's my point. And you putting in work to get whatever you follow is all the same. Again, I go to Dharma. Okay, if you go to Buddhists, they go to the Buddhists. The Indians, they go to Dharma for refuge. I go to the monastic order for refuge. If you're a Christian Catholic, I go to Maat for refuge. The Buddhist aspirant is admonished to take refuge in what? The Buddha. Become conscious. One's innate Buddha consciousness. Again, God conscious, Christ conscious, Haru conscious. It's all about becoming conscious with this, the Dharma and the Sangha, aka company of enlightened personalities. We call the company of God and Goddesses. Same philosophy, say different. The following statement from chapter 9 of the Bhagavad Gita. I done read everybody's religious text, so I understand all this stuff because I put the work in to do that. If you only know one thing, my man said, you know nothing. But the flip side to that is, if that one thing you know is good, that's all you need to know. Why? Because you know everything. Paradox. Again, philosophy is meant to make you what? Think. It ain't illegal yet, as George told me 50 years ago. The Bhagavad Gita, it shows how what? Lord Krishna, that's their Christ, admonished his followers to do what? Seek sanctuary in me. As Jesus did 100 years later. Jesus told y'all Christians the same thing. And that's fine. That's a philosophy that you can follow. And if it works for you, that's what it's all about. Arjuna, the Indian philosopher, also those who take refuge in me. Jesus also exhorted his followers to bring him their what? Troubles. And he will give them rest. He wasn't the author of that. That wasn't his authentic. He got that from thousand years before him. He learned like everybody else did. And Dharma is to be understood as what? Your spiritual discipline. It is based on righteous, virtuous order and truth, which sustains the universe. That's my eye. Sorry about that. I get excited. But I'm trying to tell you, I do the studying so I can bring it to you and know just what I'm talking about because I put the work in to do that. And if you just studying one thing or you just learning that, you don't know about this, you don't know about that. So I try to get it all covered. So I bring it to you. They're all covered. They're all in there. That's what I call my gumbo. I keep everything in there. In the same way, our ancient Egyptian initiates was to lean upon Maya. Again, I'm just bringing it to you in order to what? You ready? Purify one's heart and master one's what? Self. AKA purify his or her heart, and master him or herself. So as to what? Be able to overcome the virtuous character which leads to divine awareness. That's becoming one with God through what? Righteous and virtuous living on a daily basis. And you'll see the change. I noticed that myself. I told my pastor, dude, when I got to God, it wasn't through the Bible. I don't read the Bible. I don't do none of that. But I know God. He said, brother, right? You're evangelist. Okay, who? Man, you do God's work outside. You got one hand with God, the other hand with the people. Okay, I'm with that. Mother man said, nah, you sage, you wise man. You teaching people how to wake up. Okay, I'll take that. So I'm not out here looking for titles. I'm just doing what I'm doing. Other people putting title labels to it. I ain't beat for none of that. I like the idea of being a sage. Why? I have knowledge of myself. I'm trying to help others do the same thing. So it fits. My pastor said, I'm doing a ministry from God to the people outside the church. It fits. If the shoe fits, Cinderella, wear it. I ain't got a problem with it. Moving on. If that's you, that's you. Own it. Again, I told you this, okay, I love this. This is what I do. I'm prepared for this. There are two roads traveled by mankind. I said a little different, but I don't steal word for word. I can't do that. I don't have a photograph. Remember, I'll get it to where I understand it, and I can present it to you my way. That keeps the way they're plagiarizing thoughts, ideas, and concepts. I'm going to put a little twist to it. Why? Not the plagiarizer exactly, but I can read it word for word. There are two roads traveled by humankind. Those who seek to live Maya, that's us right thinkers. And then you got those ignorant people who seek to what? Satisfy the animal physical passions, their egos. That's what the lower nature wants. just satisfaction, just pleasure me. Yeah, make me happy, kiss my butt, gaslight me, tell me how good I look, tell me how pretty I am, tell me all that. Yeah, that's all gaslighting for the damn ego. And at the end, it gets you nothing. Nothing. If you want something here, okay, but it don't really mean nothing. I'd rather have my something for eternity. So I swap out the nonsense here for eternity. Cause sacrifice. The stuff you may want here, the stuff I want is in the afterlife. Let's go. That's the ancient Egyptian proverb. You have to understand. I got another 10 minutes. All right, let me try to get this in. It is important here now to gain what I say a deeper understanding of what is meant by action, aka WRIGHT, being something being done, right? In primeval time, before creation, okay, the primordial ocean existed. Y'all call it the abyss. We call it the noon. In complete peace and rest. That's Apophis. That's what he wants. Everything to be like that. Potential everywhere. But chaos reigns, so ain't nothing really getting done. That's the concept. Now, when that ocean was agitated, when Ra came out, okay, with the first thought of God, the first act out of the noon was what? You ready? Performed through the subsequent acts of what? This thing right here, the mind, okay? Or efforts of what we call divine thoughts or right thoughts, okay? And creation unfolded in the form of various gods and goddesses, aka elements and forces of nature. He thought it into existence. Ptah created himself from other words of what we call Heka, words of power. Whatever he named, that's what it was. Whatever he thought it was, that's what it became. That's power, okay? We got the same power in concepts, areas that we need to understand. Okay, well, whatever. No, we can't create universes, no, but we can create something from nothing, from a thought. We can manifest ideas and concepts, just like God. That's his image. He ain't human. We are. We're to be like God. We're trying to make God like us. That's one of the ignorant concepts. Well, God, no. God is just spirit and awareness, consciousness. That's it. Whatever you perceive it to be, that's your choice. Again, you can believe in or not believe in him. He don't care. Don't make a difference to him. Moving on. They present, watch this. He come from, unfold the form of formless gods and gods, who from the companies of gods, they represent all the qualities that we know to be in nature. Hot, cold. And that opposite. The first thing I did was what? Let there be what? Need to put some light in this damn place. It's too dark around here. Maat, take care of that nonsense, that chaos. So he put Maat in order. From that point on, everything came in pairs, opposites. That's what Maat represents. That's why she my girl. Okay, understand that. She got a lot of cachet. She is a bad girl. She represents hot, cold, wet, dry, etc. Okay, opposites, pairs. In the form of pairs of opposites. Boy, you a bad man. When the first primeval thought emerged from the primeval ocean of what? Pure potentiality. But it's all chaotic. Immediately, not in a little while, immediately there was something other than what? The singular primordial essence. Always been, always was, it just wasn't brought out. Now there is a being, who is looking and perceiving the rest of the primordial essence. This is the origin of, you ready? Duality, Maat, in the world of what we call now time and space. And the triad of human consciousness. What do they mean by that? The human consciousness got three phases. You got Amun, hidden. You got Ra, the sun. You got Ptah, the manifestation of the thought that manifests from the visible to the physical, from spirit to matter. That's the trinity of human consciousness. We got in three levels: consciousness, unconscious, and subconscious. All of them have a different aspect, but all the same thing for one purpose. Instead of there being one entity, watch this, there appears to be two. After him, he needed air, moist air. That was Shu and Tafnut. Then he needed physical land in heaven. Earth and heaven, that's Gab and Nut. And from Gab and Nut, they started making what? From spirit, now we go to matter. Man, Asar was the first man. Y'all call him Adam. Same concept, but made from God. He put himself in him. The human conscious, instead of there being one entity, now watch this, there seem to be two. And now the perception instrument, which is our mind and our senses of the body, is the third factor. I told you that's Ptah. We're Ptah from the Trinity of God aspect, which comprises the triad. I like this. Therefore, while you consider yourself to be an individual, but start with and look, you got David dual. The last thing is dual. That means two. It's more than one person inside you. One aspect, okay? Mind and spirit. Mind and spirit. Heart, mind, coherence. You put them together, they add up to God. When you are, what's this? You, which comprise the triad. Therefore, you consider yourself an individual. You are in reality one element in a triad, which altogether comprise the content of your human experience in the physical form. We're spiritual beings having a human experience. There is a perceiver. That's the real you. That's Amun. That's the hidden one that's inside you. Watch this. That which is being perceived. The object. That's you, the physical form. And the act of perception itself through what? Your mind, your physical body, and your mind. The five senses in the physical body and the mind to comprehend. As above, so below. Which this first primordial act, God what? God set into motion events which operates according to what God's law, regularity or ceaseless motion, or what we know to be action. Something's going on. We just fit in. We don't control it. We don't run it. We don't stop the sun from shining. We don't stop nature from doing nothing. We just part of the process. And once you figure it out, you go with the flow, so to speak, like the dive. Just go with it. Just float. Don't fight like the salmon upstream and then die. You go let flow, backstroke. Enjoy life. This is the foundation upon which the universe is created, and it emerges from what? The mind of God. Tahuti represents God's mind. Okay? He wasn't created, didn't manifest. He's God's mind. It's like Maat. She's his force of nature. She represents duality. Ooh, this is good. Hope you're learning this. This is now I'm teaching. So therefore, if one is able to think and act what? According to the way in which God thinks and acts, becoming one with him, think and act. You think it, you feel it, you do it. The more powerful that feeling is, the more powerful you're going to do it. Okay? But you thinking, acting as one, that's God. There would be oneness with God. Ding, 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 ding. All human beings are what? Like sparks of divine consciousness. We all have God in us. Simple, simple. Don't need to talk, don't need to argue. Understand that and move on. Why? And as such, we are endowed with what you call what? We are human. We are like sparks of divine consciousness. I mean, we have our own brain for every individual body. And as such, we are endowed with what we call what? Free will. To act in any given way. Right there. You can believe in me or you could not believe in me. You don't make or break me. Again, your choice. Why? He gave you free will. Okay? And eventually, you'll figure this thing out. Okay? Why? After reincarnation, lifetime after lifetime, it's going to get old, moving on. And this free will that we have, when dictated by your egoism of the individual mind, causes that individual human being to feel separate what? From God. He was the original. He's my Darth Vader. He chose the devil. He made the deal with the devil. He didn't give a damn about God. That was all poppycock to him. He want what? Material stuff. He want what? Pleasure of the flesh. Like young girl. Like money. Like nice things. That's all what? Material. All material. He was vain. He was vain. You see that guy right there? He should have been gray as I am right now. Okay? He black as I was. Okay, I was 20 years old. It's okay for me to be black. You 6 years old. You shouldn't be black. So he wanted to what? Keep his youth. He hung out with kids. Well, still in youth. He wasn't a pedophile. He wasn't that non-person. No, but he knew he could feed off the energy. I knew nothing about that back then. It makes a lot of sense. He was a soul snatcher. Okay, you call it how? Yeah, that's what he did, and it served him to his way because he didn't hurt. He didn't know he got no back. Nah. But he liked being around young people. That kept him young. So yeah, that was his thing. So he wasn't serving God. He was serving himself. You know how I feel about that. And watch this. This delusion of separateness from God is of the mind, and it leads, watch this, it leads to developing ideas related to its own feelings and desires. These egoistic feelings and desires will always lead to what? The performance of egoistic acts. That's meaning you're going to do what makes you feel good. You're not going to do what's right all the time. No. If cheating is wrong, and if that's what you want to do, you're going to cheat. It won't stop you from doing wrong. When you are spiritually disciplined, I have breaks on my moral and my ethics. I'm not doing that. Simple. Drugs, women, anything that's not good, I'm not partaking. At this point in my life, I'm way past that. You could have looked me at that. Yeah, you had me out there. I went. But now, no. He was still out there. Okay? No. Moving on. So I got perfect examples about that one. But when you act in your egoistical acts in an effort to what? Satisfy one's self. And those perceived needs of desires for the flesh, for monetary things, money, big house, all that stuff, that's all the devil's deal. Yeah. Had it. And you're never going to be satisfied. Why? Because it leads nowhere. It's all delusions. Illusions of the what? Reality. It's not real. But this pursuit for those things and trying to fulfill those desires in the relative world, the physical world of the mind and senses, this leads your soul, you ready, to experience pain, sorrow, frustration, disappointment, and death. Because these can never be 100% satisfied to what? The spirit, self. Only the ego self is happy with those things. And they suffer through. And frustrations, watch this, leads to more actions and desires in search of fulfillment. Meaning, even after death, I'm going to get that part, when your desires of the flesh is so strong in this life, when you die, your spirit carries those desires on, and they had to deal with it. And next life, next person got stuff done they ain't know nothing about. So again, but this fleeting feeling, wrap this up, which most people have and associated with what? Happiness. Because you're getting what you want, you make a bunch of money, you happy, but that ain't happiness again. And they associated with happiness and passion are only ephemeral glimpses, meaning momentary, for a minute of what? Of what the true happiness for that moment. Oh yeah. Like an orgasm for that moment. Oh, it's the best thing going. Moving on. But it don't bring you happiness or peace, which can only be experienced if what? If the source of true fulfillment, which is within you, was to be discovered. It's all inside. And Maat is what shows you the way out of what we call pain and sorrow and suffering of human existence. Why? Because it leads you to discover a source. Where? Within you. The source of what? Eternal bliss and supreme peace. Asar was the first person to die and pass the scales of Maat. He's in charge. He's the king of what? The underworld now. The netherworld. The dead. Okay? Greeks call him Hades. He's the devil. Not even who Asar is. Asar is the spirit that don't die. So even in the physical death, the body's gone, but his spirit lives on to the afterlife. That's what the concept. Okay? But if you chose, by your own volition, to what? Live according to your ego, doing you, what's this? Then what will happen? This I could atone for from experience. Then you will be in contradiction to what's right, aka Maat, what's right and pure and virtuous. You living against that. Darth Vader, okay? The Sith, the bad guys. They love being bad. He loved. I liked it too. And I relished in that nonsense. I'm the son of the devil. I'm Petey Weastor, the baddest one you ever saw. Yeah, because I'm doing what my old man do. Okay? Me. This means that you are now in total contradictions with your own conscience, your heart, truth, creating negative impressions, which will now become what? Lodged in the heart, aka your unconscious mind, and will cause continuous mental agitation, no rest to the weary. The mind is always upset, the heart is always disappointed, and the physical world is never, what the hell going on with that? Stop. And while you are alive, and you will suffer we call hellish experience. If you don't have a job, you got no income, you catching hell. That's the hellish experience. When you living good, everything go right, that's heaven. But you creating that, that's in your lifetime. That ain't after you die. No, that's a whole different animal. In this world here, you need to create, and you can create what they tell you from your own choices, heaven and hellish experience for yourself. What? Even after death. Okay? That's what it takes. Your negative impressions rise up and given time, at a given time, in the form of, you ready? Uncontrolled desires that the ego can't want to control, those cravings and unrest, and the other form of self-torment with which human lives abound. We go through hell, and we do the same thing that sends us through hell on a day-to-day basis and can't figure out why we're going through it. That is ignorant, total ignorance. That's the lesson. I see the clock going. I got right back with some more. This lesson about Maat being the path to spiritual righteous action and self-mastery. This is all about mastering oneself through understanding circumstances and situations that you put yourself in, how to avoid them and eradicate that negative aspect of your character. I'll be right back. In closing, right thinkers, may you all let it be 100, me, 100 miles a day. So I've known that my right thinkers practicing Maat philosophy and passed away.